Welcome to the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast with your host, Tony Jacobs. This podcast is not just about making money. It's about creating a legacy that stands the test of time. From analyzing market trends to mastering negotiation skills, we will leave no stone unturned as we guide you through different stages of real estate investing. We will bring on industry leaders and share stories from the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. So now, it's time to level up your real estate game. And there's no better way to do it than right here with us at the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast.
Welcome to the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast. I'm with my guy, Mr. Rocky. How you doing today, Rocky?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Get another episode in here for a financial literacy with investing in definitely real estate investing right here. This one is going to be avoid these mistakes when buying your first property, which you have a little knowledge of, I should say. So the first one, we're going to get to it right here. Skipping proper financial planning. So the mistake, not thoroughly assessing your budget, ignoring hidden costs like maintenance, taxes, insurance, and overextending financially. That's huge because, I mean, you don't want to be coming out of pocket for these unexpected expenses, not knowing your strategy of how to get your property.
Yeah, because like a lot of times when I bought my house, I said I got $15,000 to put down for my house at 3.5% or something like that, 3% to put down. They're like, oh, you have anything else? I'm like, no, that's all I have. They're like, well, there's fees and there's these fees. On what fees? So like, well, some places don't cover, like some places you have to pay for your appraisal up front. And I'm like, well, how much is that? They're like, anywhere from $600 to $900, $1,000. I'm like, what? So that's money right there. And then the extra closing costs and the fees that the institutes that you're borrowing money from or getting your mortgage from, they got their own fees and stuff like that. And it's just all these little things. I'm just like, what? So I basically had to sell my car. I sold because I was like, I had the house, it was under contract, everything was good, and they said, oh, but you need X amount of money for these extra closing costs. It's like when you buy a car, it's like, oh, the car on the sign says 50K, 20K, whatever kind of car you're buying, but then you walk out there going, did I just finance $30,000? Because you gotta get insurance, you gotta whatever warranties you want to get and all that extra stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So that always gets you extra stuff. They always say have some money on the side when you're buying a house.
Have a little cushion space.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
because like even if you had a house and you a rental property or something like that, you're waiting to buy a house. The biggest thing for us was you had to have, so it's like 30 days to close, right? The fastest they've done it, I think it was like 30 days or 28 days. They closed, or 25 days that they close the house. So that whole time frame, you better have some kind of rental agreement to where you're like, hey, can I wait this month out for a couple more weeks or whatever? If not, you're gonna have to get a hotel or something like that. So luckily we had enough money to like work out a deal with the landlord. But that money is gone because you're just giving it back to the landlord, even though you could have had it when you bought your house.
Exactly, at that time. So that's the mistake, not knowing all the unexpected expenses and how to avoid it. Get a pre-approved for your mortgage, factor in all the costs and have a financial cushion, like I said, financial cushion for the unexpected expenses. Yeah, that pre-approval helps out in so many different ways because you know what you're working with.
You know exactly what you're working with. Yeah, they're like, what's covered when you buy this house? The appraisal cover. Is these little maintenance and expenses on the house, is that going to be covered through the person that's the seller? Is he going to cover it, or is it going to be rolled into my loan, or something I do out of pocket? So always have to have your little extra on the side for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. So yes, that's skipping that proper financial planning. Number one. Number two, this is huge also, especially where a person wants to live, neglecting the research of the market. So the mistake, rushing into a purchase without understanding the local market conditions, property values, or neighborhood trends.
Yeah, that was huge because I remember when I was looking at my house, that's when the market started climbing. Like every month they're like, oh, it's gonna go down a little bit, and it just kept going up. Houses I was looking at for like $250, they're going for $275. 280. I was like, oh man. And these are your basic 3-bedroom, 2-bath house or whatever. And I was like, okay, going up. And then the house I was looking at across the street of where I was gonna buy the house.
Yes.
It was for sale, and it was for sale for probably like $50,000 more than I was originally gonna pay for my house. But then I kept watching the market because like, look, the market's right now it's climbing, but it's not climbing fast. And I know it's gonna go up. I just from like researching and watching houses for sale and just like watching literally for like 3 months, so like trying to find the home for us and watching the pricing and interest rates. I saw everything go up slowly, and I told my wife, look, if we buy this house, it's gonna be the cheapest it is ever gonna be right now, and it's just gonna go up. So if you wait another month, it's gonna go up another 10,000, whatever, and then we lost our shot. And then the interest rate was at what I think the lowest at that time was like 3%, 2%. You can always buy it down, but I think 3 to 4% was the average, and it kept going up. And I was like, look, the house is expensive, but the mortgage rate, it's where it's at. So I like put all these factors into the play, and then I pulled the trigger on the house. Luckily, the house price dropped because the guy wanted to sell. He wanted to sell it ASAP. But just watching it the whole time, watching the homes that I wanted to buy, the homes that I want to buy in my price range, and see how everything was fluctuating. Like it was going high or low, what was it selling for, what the actual selling price was for, how much were people putting down, and the interest rate and everything. That was key, because I was like, I would have never known the market. The whole time, if I didn't study or look at the market and see what houses are selling for, what they're selling, renting for, selling for, I would have just never bought a home, because like, oh, these houses are too expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
They're so expensive. I can't buy, I can't pay. Now I was like, if I can afford it, I can buy. I don't even care what it is. I was like, if I can afford it, because I know more. I know so much more now of the market just by just literally like just watching Zillow and real, all these big companies, and just watching what houses are selling for and stuff. I was watching the whole time, like I see houses dropping 10K, 5K lately, and I was like, oh. And then I tell my friends like, hey, it feels. For some reason, it feels like a good time to buy a house, because homes are getting prices are dropping a little bit. People want to sell. No one's buying their houses, so you can probably even get lower. And like, oh, really? Yeah, just go check it out and see. Two of my friends are buying houses, and they're like, dude, this house is for sale for $350, and we put it in for $340, and they took it. I was like, yeah, man. I just felt like it was the time to do it.
Time to do it. Exactly.
And the buddy's like, yeah, you're right. Like the market's they've been on the market for like over 30 days or something like that, which is a lot, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, they're just wanting to sell. I was like, dude, a month ago they probably would have never budged 350.
Mm-mm.
But the fact it's been on for that long, it's just timing too. Like,
and I'm glad you said, exactly timing, because you got to think, when it's on that long. Especially, it's like 30 days is like the barometer. They're like, okay, so why isn't any action? There could be a whole lot of action, but no one's pulling the trigger to put any offers in their house.
All kinds of situations. Like maybe you price the house too high, or maybe just the actual curb appeal is not nice, or maybe people are getting laid off lately, so now you're like, oh, maybe you should wait, or maybe the holidays are coming, or it's a lot more houses getting sold in the summer versus the winter time, right? No one's gonna want to go to rain and take their baby and their wives to go look at the houses when it's raining and stuff. So like those factors are huge. Because I remember you telling me way back when you're looking at selling houses, like, dude, it's cold, it's raining right now, it slows down a little bit. I'm like, dude, that plays a huge factor, because you have like a super, super nice home that you're willing to sell, and you're not getting as much traffic because it's cold outside.
Exactly.
It's cold.
And I tell people, especially, it's a hard time to buy something, but when you deal with like these months of like November, December, January, there's not a whole lot of traffic, because everybody's worried about Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, the
buying
holidays,
gifts and stuff like that. Yeah.
But if a person can pull it off, trust me, they're going to beat the benefits of purchasing it at that time period.
One house we had to check back twice, because the first time we looked at it, it was nice, but my realtor, he was like, oh, come back, because right now they haven't landscaped it and everything. It was kind of a gloomy day. We went back, I kid you not, it was a beautiful day, man, and they did landscaping, and I was like, dude, why does this house look cleaner? The only thing they did was some landscaping, some mowed the lawn, trim some trees. I did pressure wash the house. I'm like, dude, this house looks way different. Like, they paint this? No, they just pressure washed it. On a nice sunny day, I was like, dude, even timing of the day helps you sell the house.
Yeah, will definitely change it.
I'm like, oh man, everyone needs to get a pressure washer, you know?
Exactly.
Like, that right there, a little $300 pressure washer,
can change a world of difference.
Just sold your house.
Yep. All right, that's neglecting says to avoid. He said how to avoid this, neglecting the research market, study the market, review comparable sales, and get to know the neighborhood. Consult your local realtor, which is amazing because there's a lot of realtors out there that know exactly what's going on with the market, and just talk to someone that you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Basically. And then the next one, my favorite one, because real estate deals with anything that you get.
I like this one too.
Overlooking location.
Location.
Right? Mistake. Choosing a property in a less than ideal location because it's cheaper.
Yep.
You don't want to buy a piece of property just because the piece of property is just available.
Yeah, you want to buy a mansion in the desert.
Exactly. Right?
Ain't no one come visiting you, man. It's crazy, the location. Like, I think a lot of podcasters that do, real estate investing, they're just like, buy the shittiest home in the most nicest neighborhood, fix it up, and sell it. Like, that's, if you could do that, which everyone's trying to do that. But
right. Like how, and you got to think like how often does that happen too?
Yeah.
You got to be realistic about that. Like, there's a reason why there's so many beautiful homes in so many different locations, but then, I mean, usually, and we've seen this actually for a fact, especially like in the area you're looking at.
Yeah.
Remember that one house?
It's sold, but
It's sold, but everybody like, for the audience out there, this house is in a great location, but what it needed beyond TLC, like you needed all new landscaping, the fence, because the fence all was coming down.
Yep.
And it had a swimming pool. It had a hot tub.
It was a pond. That thing.
It was a pond. Yeah, it was a pond, and it was in a great location, but it took a lot of time.
If I had the money, I wouldn't drop money on anything, but I would buy that house, and I would drop easy $100K in that thing. And I could have 300% my ROI.
Easily.
And because of the location, like the house sale was beautiful, the location was beautiful, the corner lot and everything. But man, the location. Are you kidding me?
And they had already done something new inside that house anyway. Like they had stopped.
Yeah.
They had stopped working on it.
Like mid renovation, they're like, you know.
And another thing too, I want to also express in this point too, because when me and you were talking about it, we actually got to talk to the owner.
Oh yeah.
And that's another way of helping with a realtor too. Since I'm a realtor and my boy was here looking at the house, I was able to, with all the resources I have, I was able to get the address where the young lady lived at, and he was able to talk.
Yeah.
I was able to talk to her, and that was huge.
Yeah, I sent her a letter and everything, remember?
Yeah.
Sent her a letter saying, hey.
You were surprised you got a return message.
I got a return message saying, I was like, hey, I live in the neighborhood, I'm interested in your home. I know it's vacant for a while. Like, are you interested in selling it or whatever? I think didn't you draft up the letter? I think you drafted up the letter, and I kind of just put my tidbits in there.
Oh, yeah, I did. I did. I did have a font for that. Yeah, everything for that. But yeah, you sent it out. You sent it out.
And then a week or two later, I think it was in Texas too, right?
Yes.
The lady lived in Texas.
Yes.
And then a week or two later, I got a response back saying, "Hi, thank you." She was like, she was surprised. She was surprised, and then that's when I think your guy tried to put an offer in or something like that, and she was wanting way too much for this. This home. It was way too much. Like investors gonna be like, no way. But man, that was pretty cool because that could have been my first property right there.
Yeah.
And it only takes that one.
It only takes that one.
Yeah.
And thank God that the address that you did send it was still valid.
Yes. Oh, true for sure.
And that's why I was in awe, like, oh, wait,
it actually worked.
It went through. It's like, I was like, and all the way in Texas at that.
It's crazy, yeah. So, but the house was worth it though. I want to went through the whole pain. It didn't even call you out to like, hey, let's check this house out. It wasn't even worth it. But man,
Yeah.
the location was great. The house was it could have been fixed up beautiful, right?
Yeah.
4-bedroom, 2-car garage, a pool, corner lot. It was a 2-story.
Yes, it
Man,
was.
it had the living room, family room, dining room setup thing. It was huge. The square footage I think it was like 20 something.
Yeah,
it was a good size. Yeah.
It was
man.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely with that overlooking location, how to avoid. It says prioritize location, including, where schools, public transportation, job hubs.
Yeah.
Locations affects property value and resale potential.
Oh,
and that
100%.
is huge.
Huge.
That is huge. Yes.
I keep telling my wife because we live on the main street on Placer, and the main street connects like our little subdivision to the downtown area, and then like we do concerts and stuff like that, right? And then like one of the main attractions where we come from is the Sundial Bridge, so like a lot of things happen on that main road, and we connected to it, and like throughout the years, I think throughout that maybe the last 10 years, like they moved the Costco closer to us. They moved that little shopping center and making that huger now. That downtown's getting revamped. The new parking structures, new bars popping up, closing down popping up, new restaurants. I was like, dude, our little street, our little strip, it's getting better and better. So that just makes my location even better and better.
Yes.
I was like, we need to bring a Walmart on our side, and let's go.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It's generating a lot of business and buzz right there, right where you're at too.
Yeah. You remember if you had a Walmart in your town, you're like, oh man, we're moving up. You remember that?
Yes.
I remember when Brett Bluff got their Walmart. I was like, oh my god, look, Brett Bluff got the Walmart.
I told somebody, man, I make it sound old, Ray. That makes me sound old right here. I remember when Nintendo was out, and I lived by Walmart in Kansas, because Walmart actually started in Arkansas. That's what they like calling it.
Yeah.
And then I used to shop at Walmart when I was, man, we talking 1980. I told somebody, said, I think 1986.
Yeah, you got.
I was little, and I used to be there when they used to have the free Nintendo games. You could play them and everything.
Oh yeah.
And little kids come by, they want to play them. Like I look at them like, nope, you ain't playing anything. I got this game.
Yep. You beat the whole damn game. Just sitting there waiting for your mom and dad. You get the shopping.
Exactly. That's all I would do. All right. Yeah. The next one, number 4, failing to conduct a proper inspection. The mistake: skipping or rushing through the property inspection, leading to unforeseen problems after purchase. Ooh, you do not want that in your life. That is a headache that is very hard to get rid of.
Yeah, kind of moving the house, kind of find out there's bugs in the wall, or
you have the huge termite problem, or
they lie about the new roof.
Oh yeah, the roof. Yeah, they spray something on the roof, but then underneath that, it's been up there for 25 years.
Dude, I got a buddy that recently bought a house, and it's starting to shift.
Oh.
It's shifting because the foundation, it's a slab foundation, so it's just on the ground, but the foundation has so much trees and stuff around it. I guess the roots were eating it underneath it, and he's like, if you go and look in the house, there's little cracks in the corners and stuff, because the whole house was supposed to be squared up, but it started leaning, so all the ceilings had like little cracks, and you can tell because they got patched up by drywalls and stuff. They did drywall work, but like you see through it. And like my buddy, he's I think he did flooring and roofing, but he knew enough to be like, this is new drywall. This is what's going on here. And he started asking, and then he, like you said, he did roofing and flooring, but he went into the attic. He started noticing the trusses starting to work a little bit, and just that, he's like, okay, let's do an inspection. And he's like, yeah, this whole house is shifting. It went from like a $400K house to $250K house real quick, because he's like, this whole house needs to be lifted, right? It needs to be lifted. Concrete needs to be, all that stuff needs to be taken out, re-concrete, all this stuff, because once it shifts, it's gonna just slide off, or things will start snapping or whatever.
Oh, but like, that's huge.
Yeah. So it's like, that probably went down. I think he ended up passing, but he tried he tried to still buy it just because I think it was such a good opportunity if they would have sold it for the right price. But they was like, no. I think they ended up selling it though.
That's a huge headache.
Yeah.
Shift. Your house is shifting.
Yeah.
And especially,
I didn't know. We didn't know exactly how bad it was, but they're just like, yeah, it's shifting. That's all we had. That's all we had to hear about that. It's like, no. But that's no one would have known that if you didn't have someone that was tuned to inspecting homes.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Not just like I do roofing.
Mm-hmm.
I do flooring. Like no, he's like I do everything. But structurally, this house is sound, blah blah. But you can do inspections. When I bought my house, you can do inspections for everything: roof inspection, floor inspection, foundation, even soil inspection, plumbing, all that stuff. But that's just more money, and those are the extra little fees, extra little costs that we're talking about earlier. That hey, make sure you have an extra, little nest egg side pocket because. If you go to the house and the first thing you want to do is like what, flush the toilet, turn the water on, turn the AC on, and the AC doesn't get as cold, right? Mm-hmm. So you might want to hire an AC guy to come check it out, or you turn the water on, it's a little brown for the first second or two. You might have to call a plumber guy, because those aren't all included in your inspection. Inspection is pretty if they're pretty broad. They just kind of like look at the majority of the house.
Exactly.
They're not really.
It usually things. They'll put if it's a problem of main concern, they'll have it in red writing.
Yep.
But then a lot of it will be we recommend this, we'll recommend that, we'll recommend this. You could recommend the whole. Oh yeah.
When I went with my realtor, his mentor came with us, and he was like, we're looking at everything. He was just like me. I felt like he was gonna buy my house too with me. He's like, this knob is loose. We can put that and see if they can fix that. I'm like, well, that's a $5 knob. He's like, yeah, but we can put it in the request, see if they can. I was like, really? You can do that? He's like, yeah. He's like, you like these ceiling fans? Like, nah, they're kind of old. He's like, yeah, we can see if we can get the new one. He was doing all these little things my realtor was doing that you could like, oh, dude, I kind of wanted him more than my other realtor.
He's starting off.
The mentor versus the mentee is like, dude, the mentor knew some things.
Exactly.
No wonder he was in the game. I think he was doing realtor for like 30 years.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's in the game for that long. He's just very, very humble and just like his eye
coordination of everything that was going on.
Was set on that, but yeah.
Yeah, it says how to avoid, following the conduct of proper inspection. It says hire a qualified home inspector to thoroughly assess the property and ensure you are aware of any issues. And my main concern, especially when you buy a house, definitely, like you said, the roof. Definitely, if you live in an area that has a lot of trees, because that can uplift the foundation and you can make it shift. It can actually those roots can actually make the home shift.
Yep. And all your little concrete and stuff around the house, your walkways just start lifting.
Yeah.
A tripping hazard.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Going down the sidewalk. Why is the sidewalk smooth? And then there's one square where it's up. It could be a root that's right there. That's why it's bucking it up like that.
Yeah.
All right. The next one, not considering long-term goals. The mistake: buying a property that does not fit your long-term goals, such as family planning, work commute, or potential resale value.
Yep.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Attention realtors. First impressions are so important for real estate sales. Having a clean logo with easy-to-read information can impress a buyer and potentially get you that sale. Here at Boundary Waters, we excel at first impressions. If you need a logo or lawn signs, give us a call. Our experience at signs and banners have been proven for over a decade. Give us a call at 530-221-2151. Again, that's 530-221-2151. Boundary Waters Screen Printing, home of the Surf Ninja. www.boundarywatersinc.com.
And then how would you want to avoid this? It says think about your future needs. Will the property still suit you in 5 to 10 years? Consider resale value and the potential for appreciation. You want to definitely make sure wherever you purchase at, is it going to be worthwhile? Like there's a lot of areas where, we don't hear it much of places like going down in value, but it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
But you always want to be in a place, like you said, location, location, location. Anywhere there's a good location, it's always going to go up.
Yeah.
It's always going to benefit everyone. It's going to benefit our economy. It's going to benefit you. It's going to benefit the family. It's going to benefit everything that's going on in that location.
Yeah, the location, and like when we talk about location, we're talking about like, is it close to shopping, right? Is it close to schools? If you're gonna have kids, do you want to drive, across town to take a kid to school every day? Bus stops, shopping centers, parks, and then work, right? Because I used to work where I was like less than 2-3 minutes away from my work. That was amazing. Now I drive half, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, all those little factors played a part in the house we bought in our little subdivision. But initially, thinking like a single guy with my wife, maybe a kid on the way. At the time, I was like, I want to live in the country. I want to buy property. I want to have a huge shop. I want to do all this stuff. I don't want no neighbors. I hate people, kind of thing. I don't want to see nobody. At the time, I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. I'm not gonna spend, this much money for that. And then my wife's like, no, because our kids, they need to be. I want them to be able to have neighbor kids and play and all this stuff and be able to go outside and have friends and ride their bikes and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. You're so right, because I was thinking about myself. Like for me, maybe when we retire, that's what we can do. But as far as right now, our kids have neighbor friends. I think our first week we moved in, they had a block party and invited us. We met all our neighbors that night.
Oh,
that
nice.
was amazing. Our kids go with our neighbors' kids to school. They're in the same class, kind of thing. So it's super nice and it's friendly. Luckily our neighborhood is mixed ages, so we have a lot of senior residents, and then we have younger generations coming in, and everyone wants to take care of their home. They want to do upgrades and stuff like that. So all of us are in the same generation, so it's nice because we grow up with each other. I wanted to have, and that's, we talk to neighbors and stuff like that, and have like get-togethers, which is pretty cool. But I would have never ever done that if I lived in the country.
No,
my boys would have been digging holes and climbing trees, but they would never, be able to ride their bike. Yeah, ride their bike down the street or anything like that. So it's and there's schools right down the road. There's a lake that we live by that we walk there literally every single day, in the morning and in the evenings. Sunset, sunrise. We met a lot of good neighbors around there, and like my wife runs every day, and she doesn't have to worry about crazy car drive back and forth, weirdos, bums or whatever coming around, stray dogs, coyotes, and things like that if we're out in the country. So she does that every single day almost, and it'd be a different lifestyle if we lived over there. So yeah, long term, it was for sure the best thing for us at the time.
That's really good. And then another one, this is number 6. I'll run these down before the end of the episode, but number 6 I think is really good too, is letting emotions drive decisions.
Oh, yeah.
The mistake, falling in love with a property and making a decision based on emotions rather than financial and practical considerations. Yeah, I've seen some people like, I love that right there. I'm like, well, do you know anything about it? No, I just love it.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you know the price range it's working with? Have you done any homes? No, it looks great. I just know you just can't go. That's almost like sight unseen. Like, you just tell somebody what something's about, and you're like, I'm gonna purchase it.
Yeah, 3 bed, 2 bath, sweet. I'll take it.
Right. Exactly.
You're like, no. I remember this thing hits me hard, man, because I was 3 months looking for our home when I first started looking at homes. Like I was on every single website you think of. I was even signing up for websites just to get the personal newsletters and stuff to email. And I did the math, and we were around 80 to 90 homes in those 3 months. Some days we'll go see 5, some days we'll see like 1 home.
Ooh.
4 or 5 days a week. And my realtor was
You told your realtor he's about to work for this.
Hey, he did, man. And and I thought at the end, towards the end, I thought, man, he sucks. But we just got to a point where like we looked at so many homes that they all looked the same to me. And I got to a point we looked at 80, 90 homes. I only put 2 offers in, and one of those offers is the house I lived in now. Because the first couple homes we looked at, I knew what I didn't want and then what I wanted. Because I was like, I could do a little fixer-upper. No, I couldn't do that at the time because I was had a new baby coming, new job, So I was like, I won't have time to do that, and I probably wouldn't do that for a long time. So like all those little things, but like I got to a point where like I like this house. 3 bedrooms too bad. It looks alright. Let's put it in. And wife's like, but you really want a garage? Like I was like, yeah, it has a little garage. It's like a single garage. She's like, yeah, but you really wanted a garage. That's the one thing you wanted. I was like, yeah, you're right. Man, I'm settling. I am settling. So yeah, when you start looking at homes, you can't, sometimes you gotta step back and really set goals of exactly what you want and stick with it. Because for me, I was like, I can settle. And my wife's like, no, you always wanted it. We saw this one home that was beautiful, but I wanted backyard access. I want to be able to like park something in the back or like, get back there easily instead of like a little gate door.
Yeah.
Because every once in a while you want to have a jump house or something like that come in the back, and you can't even get in there because there's no room. And she's like, but you can't get to the back. I was like, oh, you're right. You can't get. It was a huge backyard, but you can't get to the back because it was like between 2 homes, and the side that connect the homes together was separated by trees, and there's like no way to get past there. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right, no way to get back there. So like I was selling because I was looking at homes so much, and I was like, man. But then I see homes that I really, really wanted, and I almost overpaid for the home because it's like I want it. I looked for this long. This house is checking all the boxes, but I need to just pay what they're asking me. And my realtor was like, no, just wait, let's start low. I was like, all right. Well, if I lose this house, I'm mad. And I listened to him. We got a fair deal.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. I know your realtor was like, you know what, I'm getting worn out.
Yeah. He did a lot. I was telling my other realtor friends and my landlord that was a realtor. She's like, he did all that? He looked at all his houses with you? I was like, yeah. We take our car and he'll take his, and we'll just follow each other. She's like, I wouldn't have done that. She's like, first 20 houses, I would have been like, done. I was like, I was like, what? No way.
That's a lot of houses.
Yeah. So he stuck in there, and we got a good deal. He got a good, little commission. So he did fine.
That's good. That's real good. All right. The next one would be, this is a good one. Ignoring the impact of interest rates. The mistake. It'd be focusing only on the property's price and not paying enough attention to the mortgage rates, which can significantly affect your monthly payments.
Huge.
Ooh, that's huge. Yeah. Yes.
I was when I bought my house, I didn't know anything about anything as far as like I didn't even know what the APR was. I was like, is that what you...
For those ones out there, annual percentage rate?
Yeah, I didn't know what the annual percentage rate was. I was like, what is that? And she was like, well, there's a couple. She's like, this is what you are gonna pay every year in taxes. This is what you're gonna pay every year and your mortgage and all that stuff. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what's this APR? I was like, this is what we charge the mortgage rate, the mortgage company. This is what we charge. I'm like, is that annual? She's like, no, this is what you charge this first year and that's it. And I was like, learning all these stuff, and like, this is not even the interest rate of my house. This is just what the companies are charging, these institutions are charging for their services. Basically. I'm like, oh, what the heck is all this? And then finally we came down to interest rate for, buying a house, and that's when I learned about buying points down, shopping around, because interest rates, I think, like I said, when I bought my house, like anywhere from like 3, 4, 5% was the highest at the time, maybe 6, depending on your credit, and I shopped around like 6 different companies. I narrowed it down to 3 companies. And finally, the last 2 companies had a very good interest rate at 3.5. and then 3.2. And then I told the company, hey, I'm gonna go with this company because they're gonna get me at 3.2%. And we went through the whole thing. I'm getting ready to literally pull we pulled the credit and everything. Getting ready. All he had to do was sign the DocuSign and it was on, right?
Yeah.
And I told the company I was gonna go with this one because it's a little lower. And he's like, hold on, let me talk to my underwriter. And then he came back, okay, we can do 3.125. I was like, done. That's saving like an extra $10,000, right? Of the loan.
Yeah.
Or something crazy, a little more actually, but shopping around for the interest rate was huge. Cause I got friends that buy houses. I'm like, oh, well, what companies did you go to? Oh, I just went through one.
Yeah, they don't even shop around. They just
like
one.
Shop around. Oh my, it's so important to shop around for the interest rate, because every company wants your business.
Yes.
As much as they say, oh, your credit score is not good, or you don't have enough money down, or whatever, they want your business, and they will adjust the interest rate, how much you need to put down, all that stuff to make sure they get your business.
Yes, so true.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And not knowing what you're going to be paying monthly versus long term is huge too, because you can pay. The average home right now is like $2,500 or something, like $3,000 for like a 400K home or something like that, a mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
But say, oh yeah, you're paying $2,500, and then your neighbor, same price home, he's only paying $2,000, but his interest rate is like 8 versus your interest rate at 5. Like, yeah, you're paying more up front. He's gonna eat it at the end. If he's not paying his house up front, or he's paying his house before those 30 years, he's gonna pay double, triple his house price because he wasn't aware of what he's paying. Yeah, it might be cheaper up front. Your monthly payment might be cheaper. But man, that back end interest is gonna kick you in the butt when you realize how much you're paying.
That's true.
Because when you buy a house, and you start making your payments, right? You don't start making payments on your principal until the upfront interest is paid off.
Yes, exactly. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know what the heck that was. Like, what do you mean? Because you look at your monthly statement.
It's like haven't been any changes.
Yeah, why? Mm-hmm. Why is everything still?
It's still the same. I'm still I'm stuck. And you're right. So how to avoid it is you got to do your research of mortgage options. And then lock in favorable interest rates and understand how changes in rates will impact your overall cost. Yeah. Like I said, you got to do your research. There's so many different mortgage companies that are out there that will help you. You don't have to go with your standard ones here in your local town, at your banks or anything.
The one I went to was some guy in down south in San Diego.
It was.
I dealt with him the whole time over the phone. I never saw him once. It was all through it was like, I still remember his name, Yannick or something like that. Uh-huh. But I remember talking to him the whole time on the refinance my home with some dude in San Diego. Yeah. And the only reason I knew about him is because his email popped up saying, oh, good, you look Google like what's the best mortgage companies, whatever. And it popped up. I clicked on it. I talked to him. And then, after a couple of days of running through the numbers and all that stuff, and we closed the deal over the phone.
Oh wow!
I was like, I was in my PJs the entire time. Like, it's crazy.
Oh man! All right, the next one, which would be number 8 of understanding renovation costs. So the mistake, not accurately calculating how much repairs and renovations will cost, leading to budget overruns. Oh yeah, definitely. If you don't know how much you're working with, it could be costly. You got to view it like. I'd say it's viewed like even people who do fix and flip. They have a budget. They know what the cushion is, how much they can put on in anything. That's the same thing when purchasing a house that you think that you want to do upgrades. Because I tell people, when you buy a house, that house is not when you buy a house, it's for you. Now when you sell a house and people are like, oh, they might want to keep this or do this. No. The way the people come in, they're thinking about if it's their house.
Yeah.
So it's 2 different ways, because they could be like, you know what, it's going to be worth our while, because the way that the house looks to them, they'd be like, you know what, we're gonna redo the bathroom.
Yeah.
We're gonna do, you know what? We're gonna do the one place that everybody has their hands in, the kitchen.
Yeah. The color's nasty.
Exactly.
Yeah, we paid this house.
It's up to their preference, because so they'll do their own calculation, like, okay, is it going to be worthwhile for us to even buy this house, because we want to renovate, we want to do the renovation of this part and this part. So it's going to be up to that person.
Yep.
And it says how to avoid. It says get multiple estimates for any potential renovations and add a buffer for unexpected expenses. Yeah, do your due diligence and shop around who's going to be the ones to help with the renovations, because there's so many people out there. But you want to make sure, that they're credible too, because I mean, right now this is 2024 going to 2025, and scamming is at an all-time high.
It's huge. Oh, for sure. I always tell my wife, because she deals with a lot of our little things that I'm at work all the time, so like insurance and stuff like that, she has to deal with it, and she's in that field, so she talks to insurance companies and just different places of like the windshield was cracked, and I was like, well, call different companies, and literally it went from all reputable companies in Reading, and the prices went from $100 to $500, huge difference. Because some offer warranty, some shops were not like a 5-star shop. So, the one place was like very dingy versus the other places like everyone goes to. Like Safe Light is the most popular one. They come to your house, right? They do it right then and there, so they're a little more, but the convenience is. So all these little factors, and we end up selling like mid 300 something for a new windshield, and Safe Light. They beat everybody, even with the coming out to our house and doing it. So that was cool. But as far as like shopping around for. Did you go?
Because I had to get mine done to my Yukon. Did y'all have to go? Y'all went through local? Was it someone local, or is it?
It was someone local. Yeah.
I went to people out there who live in Shasta County. The best windshield place I've ever experienced was Ray's Auto. Ray's Auto Glass on Hartnell. They do amazing work.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with them.
Shout out Ray's Auto.
Definitely Ray's Auto. Yes. Their shop's on Hartnell. They're the best when it comes to windshields I've ever experienced. I've never had a problem with them since I've been dealing with them. I want to say for the past 10 years.
Oh my God, it's just so important just to shop around. Just shop around. That's why Amazon is killing it out here, because you can go to all your local stores and look at clothing or whatever, and then you can be like, man, they're selling this for $50, and you go to Amazon just to check the price, see what it is, and they be like, oh, they're selling it for $40, and it's Prime again in 2 days.
Yeah, and then
knowing that.
And I'm glad you said it, because like I have a business account with Amazon, but then like sometimes I'll be like, you know what, I'll do the free shipping. I don't need it right this very second. I can wait about 4 or 5 days. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But lately, I'll tell you this: the past couple days, even though I put down, I'll get that, like a Saturday or next Sunday or next Monday. No, they've been speeding it up.
Oh yeah.
Because I think what they probably bored. Like I have some stuff coming today. That stuff wasn't supposed to come until tomorrow.
Hey, they're wrapping up for the holidays.
Yeah, man. I was like, well, shoot. I mean, they almost got some money out of me if I had said yes, but I said no, I don't really need it that fast, and it comes today.
and they give you incentives. Like if you don't want to rush it, you'll get like $1, $2 off or some kind of some credit. So that's pretty cool too. So like shop around, and depending on the price is a huge thing, right? If someone's doing cheaper, you're like, I want to go there. But like you said, the quality of work, they're reputable. You don't want to go to some dingy place and they're like, what the F you doing here? Yeah. That's how they greet the customers. Like, oh,
exactly,
come
right?
on, that place
Exactly. I see you have -5 stars.
Yeah. I was like, even if it was $100, that's horrible.
Exactly.
That's why that Schwab does so great, because they literally run out, right?
Exactly.
They run out with their white shirts, they run out. Hey, how can I help you?
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Okay. My other shop I go to, they're just like, what do you want? A tire. I need a tire.
Exactly. Right.
I was like, oh man.
Oh shoot. All right, yeah. The next one is going to be not seeking professional help. So the mistake, trying to handle everything on your own without consulting real estate professionals like agents, lawyers, or mortgage advisors.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, when it comes to, as they were talking about, agents, lawyers, and advisors, everybody has resources. It's just what resources do people have? Because you can get a lot of stuff online and everything, but there's certain things like people come to me and they'll tell me like, yeah, Tony, they said my house on Zillow is that much, and I just laugh and I'm gonna say, that Zillow, what is it,
Zillow estimates.
Zillow estimate is not an accurate estimate. Like I'll go on the MLS and I'll find out from a mile or 2 mile radius of how much your homes have been selling and look at the comparables. Like that's that homework right there that Zillow doesn't really do. Like you get real in depth depending on the how far of space, how far of area and territory that you want to get.
Yeah.
So how to avoid, it says work with experienced professionals who can guide you through the process, negotiate on your behalf, and ensure all the paperwork is in order. That's exactly when I work with clients, I tell them up front that I'm here to work for them. If there's any problems or concerns, they can call me, they can text me. That open line of communication is huge because there's a lot of people. I mean, we live in this generation. Everything's either I don't want to talk to you, I just want to text you. Even if that's the case, then you want to make sure that communication is open all the time, because having bad communication, something can ruin it, that client privilege.
Yeah, the whole transaction might be shot out because you guys couldn't reach each other soon enough, and someone else put a deal in, and you're like, I could have done that. So
yeah. And even if like how we went down to Fairfield, even when you're dealing with anything of real estate investing, multifamily, anything, communication is key. Because you've got to stay on top of everything. It shows being professional. It shows the seriousness of you wanting to pursue that property, whatever your goal or initiative is.
Even lawyers have lawyers, right? Yes, exactly. They can do it and everything too. Yeah. But the one thing I wanted to add was, man, sometimes you can do it. You can, if you're smart enough and you have the wits of yourself, you can probably buy, sell a home, and you can probably do all the paperwork and go to the bank and stuff like that. But man, I would easily pay for the convenience. Man, I don't want to be at work and answer these texts and get these phone calls from these mortgages and dealing with this and that. Man, I just want to be like, hey, yo, Tony, I want this house. Let me know where to sign.
Exactly. Send everything through DocuSign.
That's it.
I even like going to the point where even know if the person doesn't really care or want to know, I'll tell them like, okay, this is what I've seen. I just want to give you this information. Either they can take it or it's up to them. But at least I done my due diligence, and they can be like, you know what, he was on top of it.
Yeah, there's thousands of realtors out there, but the ones that will definitely separate themselves are the ones that are, like personality. For me, it'd be like I said, they all know their stuff. They probably all know how to buy and sell a house and do all that stuff, the paperwork. But if their personality doesn't vibe with you,
oh no,
you're not gonna, like I said, you're not gonna be like, this guy's the best realtor in the world, but he's just like, Tony, I saw a house. You want to look at it or what?
Exactly. Chemistry's all off, dry.
Versus you're like, yo, man, I just saw this house. I think it'd be perfect for you and your wife, man. I can be ready in 20 minutes to go show you. Oh, man, I'm going to go with this guy.
Exactly. And the house is like, it's people's biggest investment.
Yeah.
Which I was just remembering that yesterday I was looking at, it was a clip I'd seen on one of the medias, and they were talking about the homes, and they said basically that for a person to own a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, they didn't say the exact square footage, but they said just a standard home here in the United States, a person needs to make at least $100,000.
Yeah, I think I see something like that. Like the old, yeah.
It was like I think it was $102,000 or $103,000, and I was like, that's crazy.
Something crazy like that, which is like not a lot of people are breaking that 100K mark. So,
no, exactly.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be renters and stuff, But for sure, you need professional help.
Yes.
No one does it without a team. And
no,
you might not have a team, right? Like all of us know each other, but man, if you really sit down and think about it, you have your doctor, you have your lawyer, you have a realtor, you have your mortgage company, you have all these your phone company, all these companies, that's your team. Like you pick them. They ain't pick you. You pick the one because they have the better quality product, and it's cheaper or whatever it is. But you pick these people on your whole team in your life.
Yeah.
Your spouse, that's your quarterback right there. That's your team. But picking the right team to help you get through whatever situation is huge.
Yes, it is.
Like I don't think I would ever. I would never buy a house without a realtor. I don't have time for that. I don't have the know-how. I don't have the knowledge.
No.
For sure.
No, you're right. Yeah. And the last and least, failing to understand contracts and legal terms. The mistake: signing contracts without fully understanding the terms or missing important details in the fine print.
That was huge for me when I bought my house.
Yeah.
I know nothing. I'm like, what is this?
When somebody says, here, sign this. When somebody says to do that, like, no, don't do that. You'd be like, all right, what am I signing? Because, buying real estate is one of the biggest purchases, if not the biggest purchase that you'll purchase in your life.
For sure. No one. The people that buy houses, some people that I know about houses don't understand how big a purchase was. Because I'm not gonna pay $200-$300 for a pair of shoes. Like, that's crazy. I'm not gonna buy these. I'm not buying that. But then they'll go around and buy $200,000-$300K house. Yeah. And make those mortgage payments every day, knowing the interest rate and all that stuff. I just bought a house. I was like, dude, you're complaining about these shoes that you really wanted that you didn't buy. Now you just went out and bought a shoe.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you're never going to pay it off. 30 years to pay it off. You could have paid that shoe off in like a week or a paycheck.
Yep.
So I was like, you got to know what you're doing because, man, that's a lot of money right there. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of money.
So how to avoid: work with and experienced professionals who can guide you through, the process and negotiate on your behalf. To ensure all the paperwork is in order. Oh wait, I'm reading the wrong one. My fault. I'm way off. It's to review the contracts carefully. It's almost the same. You review the contracts carefully, and if needed, consult a real estate attorney to explain any of the legal terms that you don't understand. So with these 10, which they are right there, I'm gonna run brief rundown. Skipping proper planning, financial planning, neglecting to research the market, overlooking location, failing to conduct a proper inspection, not considering long-term goals, letting emotions drive emotions. Definitely don't do that. Mm-hmm. Ignoring the impact of interest rates, understanding renovation costs, not seeking professional help, failing to understand contracts and legal terms. So by avoiding all these mistakes, you'll be in a better position to make a smart and informed decision on your first property purchase. And like I said, you would definitely want to know if you do make mistakes, make sure that you have somebody credible that can help you out. Even before you do this, have a blueprint of how you want to go about getting something. There's some people who just buy off of spite, but then when it comes to real estate, it's a journey. It's a journey that you have to take your time to go about going to do it. And it can be definitely rewarding at the end because you want to reap the benefits at the end too. That's when they talk about what your long-term goals, be having a family, shopping centers, the location. A lot of factors play, especially with real estate investing. That's it for this one. Avoid these mistakes when buying your first property. You want to say anything else, Rock?
Thanks for having me. I got my gear right here. The professionalist, baby.
I'm still debating if I want to start putting out the merch, because I'm still working on it and everything. But I will say this, that January and start of 2025 is going to be very, very amazing, especially for the Professionals Real Estate Investing Podcast. If you want to become a guest, you can email me at realestateinvesting@theprofessionalist.info. I've had a lot of people hit me up lately that I'm getting ready for the year, and I want to bring a lot of people on to get them out there, get the word about real estate investing. It's actually fun learning a lot of stuff that you don't know about. So I'm not trying to make this like a stale for people, but I want them to hey, you know what? Maybe I should turn that route. Because there's always different ways to invest.
Yeah.
Stock market is always huge. Other different means you can invest.
And
your
like
money
different
in.
perspectives too. Like we all want to invest in real estate, but like perspectives of like backgrounds where you guys came from and what's your goal. It's all different. Even though we're all doing the same thing, it's always different.
Yeah, and
Cool.
one of the reasons why I even started this, because we're almost hitting up on the 25 episodes, is when I heard the two expressions, God's not making any more land and God's not making any more dirt. Like people need to live somewhere.
Yep.
Like that got my marbles just thinking, my brain. I'm like, what? Like yes. Like why not? Like someone needs it's a need. Anything that has a need is you're always going to prosper.
Yeah. Yep.
You're always going to prosper. But rather than that, that's it, everybody. Y'all have an amazing day. Me and Rocky out of here.
Out.
All right, peace.
In the fast-paced world of real estate, success hinges on information. Introducing PropStream, your all-in-one real estate solution. Find properties, analyze markets, and generate leads effortlessly. With PropStream, you're always one step ahead. Access it anytime, anywhere, and watch your business thrive. Don't miss out on the future of real estate. Get started with PropStream today. Visit trial.propstreampro.com/Tony Jacobs for a 7-day free trial and revolutionize your real estate game. PropStream, your key to real estate success. Don't wait. Start now.